All right, everybody, welcome back to our final chapter here in the album review series for Mercyful Fate. Before we do the big ranking, of course, that means we're talking about that final album, at least as of today, because there's been talks, rumors online for the past few years about, there being a new album coming out in the near future. Of course, no singles, nothing like that have dropped, but hey, I'll be anxiously awaiting that one, that's for sure. But yeah, we're going to talk about Nine, which came out in 1999. A very, very badass album cover, kind of a callback to Don't Break the Oath, with that, that demon or devil skull, whatever, on it. So really, really cool looking. And, this one definitely, it continues just that badass streak of 90s Mercyful Fate, right? I mean, this is the production sick. Everything about this is just super well done, well produced. Hear every instrument perfectly. That production for 90s Mercyful Fate was just top tier. And they kept that up with here. So like really like this one, Time, Into the Unknown, In the Shadows, all those albums have like just that thick sound to them that is just and just a rich sound to them that and not to say that the 80s ones of course didn't have solid production as well, but they took them taking that big long time away from each other, and then hopping into them. I mean, there's a pretty big difference in the production quality, which has been a very cool thing in their evolution. But anyways, let's kick this thing off with the opening track here, Last Rites. And that's how you do an opener right there. I mean, just a sick, memorable opener for their final album here for the time being. And I mean, you couldn't have done it better. This is one of the best tracks off here. So right off the bat, you're doing good. Very cool riff in this one. Love the chorus and everything. You get that dynamic range of King Diamond as usual, right? So then moving on over to track number 2, Church of Saint Anne. Another really, really solid one that I forgot about how much I liked. And, so this one is one of those surprises you kind of get from time to time listening to, going back and listening to albums and such. This was another one of those surprises where I was like, man, this one's resonating with me this time, right? Just very, very cool track here, The Church of St. Anne. And here comes one of the best ones, man. Probably like top 2 or top 3. Sold My Soul. I mean, dude, this one has got like, they open up with that little bass lick that has got a little bit of that wah-wah pedal. It almost sounds like something Cliff Burton, like a bass intro from, Cliff Burton would make for Metallica. That early Metallica. I mean, it's just got a really, really cool sound going on with that, and just, which that's another thing that these 90s Mercyful Fate albums have done, is just had some very, very memorable bass moments throughout these past few 90s records for them. And Sold My Soul is one of them, with just that big bass noise going on, then, that with that wah pedal going, I think that's what's going on there. But then, you get that guitar just kind of strumming through them chords over it. Just makes a really, really cool sound. And the chorus is really hooky as well on this one. Then another really cool one here, House on the Hill. That's another one I forgot how much I liked. Very, very cool one. I love kind of it sounds like a talking back and forth, which King Diamond does so well, like telling stories and stuff. There's kind of that kind of effect going on during the chorus, in the house on the hill. Like, it just, the way it's kind of structured, is very, very cool, and a memorable standout in this album. And again, much like Church of St. Anne, one that I kind of slept on in the past, I think. And that's one that's come back to me as like, man, that one is really freaking good. Then we got track number 5 here, Burn in Hell. Another solid one here. I'm trying to see. I mean, it's not amongst my favorites, kind of in the middle of the line, but I mean, it's a damn good one. We've kind of seen that with these guys throughout, even the ones that are near the middle, near the bottom of, your favorites off these albums, or at least for me, have been still awesome songs in their own right. So that's, something to say about the band there, a testament to how freaking great they are. Then we go with track number 6, The Grave, another really, really solid one. Love the riff on this one. Got kind of a big riff going. Um, just a sick, sick track kind of here in the middle, doing its job. But it is one that also would be kind of, as it is kind of in the middle here of the album, kind of falls in that middle range for me as far as my favorites go and everything. Then we go with kind of a faster pace one, track number 7, Insane. This one's got kind of, like a jump start to it, just kind of kicks off, goes pretty quick there. One of the shorter songs, I think, off here, at like 3 minutes or something like that. But, it's a fast one. It makes its point, goes right to it, and kind of, jump starts the album again. Not saying that Burn in Hell in the Grave. I'd even say I think those songs are both better than Insane. Insane's one of my least favorites off here. I'll say that. But I think, I'm just saying it fits really well in the album as far as the pacing goes. It kind of, kicks it back into gear with just another really fast one that's kind of thrashy. Then we go with, man, this one has always been one of my like top 1, top 2 favorites on here, Kiss the Demon. That intro to this one is just epic, man. I mean, it just sounds like you're in for something, that, and man, that one is definitely, there's only one that I would say is better than it, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Kiss the Demon, yeah, that intro just feels grand, like a grand finale. This one almost could have been, the closer on here would have fit super well, I think. But it's an amazing song. It's a top tier, top shelf, Mercyful Fate track. That's for damn sure. I mean, it is just a fantastic one that has definitely lived with me. It stood out to me on this album since the first time I've heard it. I love the riff. The chorus is so freaking memorable, man. And again, that intro alone is just, it gives you the goosebumps. The only one that's almost overtaken it and might even, I mean, it's tough between Kiss the Demon and this one here, Buried Alive, man. That's another one that I forgot how damn good it was. I love this one. It is heavy. The lyrics are I mean, it's brutal, man. I mean, wake up, you're still alive. I mean, that's just freaking sick, man. It's a badass track that has become, again, one of my favorites off here, and just one of my favorite Mercyful Fate tracks. And that's the beauty of it, right? I mean, this is one that, for whatever reason, this album, I just hadn't gone back to it quite as much as maybe some of these other albums in their story discography. But, like I'd say, I'd maybe heard this album once or twice, maybe 3 times, while the others quite a bit more than this one. For whatever reason, obviously, I mean, they have such a great discography. It's like, picking your favorite children, right? So it's that definitely played a factor in some of these other ones, kind of, like even with like Dead Again, that one, how I kind of talked about the same thing, and that was one of the ones I had come back to least out of their discography for no particular reason, and that's what made like kind of the rediscovery of some of these tracks on that album so great. And that's kind of the same with this one. And Buried Alive has become one of my favorite Mercyful Fate tracks. So freaking good. Then we close it out funnily with track number 10. 9 is the name of it, right? The title track. You think they would maybe put track number 9 on as track number 9, right? But this one is probably my least favorite on here. I mean, it's cool. It is a cool closer and everything. Kind of, spooky. You got this kind of cool, kind of freaky guitar lick going on throughout. And it's a cool song, a cool way to close it. But I kind of think that, again, that epic kind of feel that Kiss the Demon brings on just feels like a grand closure for the album. I think that would have possibly benefited being there at the end. But 9 is not a bad song at all. Very cool. Fits the album well. It's a Mercyful Fate track, so you can't really go too wrong with it. But just of all of these, I'd say it's my least favorite. But just a fantastic album. This has been a really really fun one to revisit. As it's not one that I maybe that stood out to me as much as some of the others in their discography before this most recent listen, right? Which is your opinions always change on this stuff, which is fun and interesting. And man, talk about picking your between your favorite children, man. This is gonna be a hard one to rank. This discography, guys. I'm letting you know that now. I've had normally, I mean, before doing these, I kind of know at least who even my number one is, I'm usually like the top two or three, like and I kind of know where some of these albums place, right? But usually the order I kind of look at, but for instance, like Iron Maiden, I know what kind of falls near the bottom for me, and I kind of know what's at the top and stuff, and what kind of is in the middle, and kind of sometimes those shift around a little bit, but usually the stuff kind of falls in place there. This is going to be freaking hard ranking these. I'm telling you that some of the stuff has been like, man, it's shifted drastically from maybe how I used to rank them. So it's going to be an interesting ranking and a very tough one. I've already been listening to back again through some of these albums we've covered prior to this one and stuff, and just getting it kind of really trying to dissect it and find out where I really want to put some of these things in the ranking. So it's been a fun time. So stay tuned for that, guys. That's going to be a good time. And let me know what you think about this final, as of today, final album for Mercyful Fate. And was it a great ending for them? At the time, and again, obviously the new album's not come out or whatever, or they've not even dropped a single, but there's just been those whispers about it coming, right? So that's the only reason I'm saying that. And hopefully in the near future we see a single and then the album drop, and then we'll come right back and review that and then update the rankings on this, which will be even more challenging. We'll probably shift all around again because just such a great storied discography for Mercyful Fate. But anyways, guys, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about 9 down there. And was this a good closer to Mercyful Fate, or should they maybe have gone one more after, like in like 2000 or something, to close it? I think this was a great ending, but obviously I would have loved if they would have just kept the discography going, kind of like how King Diamond has. But yeah, guys, stay tuned next time for the big ranking of Mercyful Fate's discography and the reveal of what the next band will be covering is. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks, guys.